Welcome back to more Higurashi. What could possibly be left to explain about the village, the goings on, the time skips? After Katie so magnificently talked down a hostage situation, we don't get to revel in that small victory. Though not many of the characters actually perished in that timeline. Still wasn't the best. There were a few deaths, so go back, try again, see what else we can do. But also that OVA, the quarry, the pit. What else does it play? There's gas leaks, parasites, mentions of aliens, and the many little notebooks that the woman gave over. I'm guessing that they weren't just fantasies written in the heat of the moment or to children's stories to impress anyone. Was it the fact that what's actually going on with the village? Is it static? Does the root cause of what is going on change ever so slightly on each iteration? That would definitely make it difficult to stop. And explains a lot of the notebooks. But then again, she might have just been vivid imagination. Can you tell that I'm trying to avoid starting? I have no idea what's going to happen in this season. Then again, if I did, it would take away a lot of the mystery. So, get yourself a drink. We need to be refreshed to see what's going on in this one. Okay. A reunion to go along with everything. This is so slow and brooding. So we try and get a little calming atmosphere out here with the opening, and are they meant to be devil horns? Then it's interspersed with the jump cut radio static. As much as you want life to be as calm and simple, there's going to be moments which tear it all away. I hope that the animation quality stays as high as it is in the opening. I need a Higurashi where we don't have odd character model breaks and eye spacings all over the place. Wait, is that Shion joining in with the main team there? Was she waving at us? I mean, she does know about all of the proceedings, so maybe being part of a show is also one of her knowledge points. Yeah, they have the yes, the fans on. Just a waste now. But who is? Things have seen they've seen better days. Is this the same dude that we saw before who came to the village a long time ago? Mamoru. I assume it is, actually. Can't remember his name, but a detective that comes from Tokyo. So, we're in the early 2000s now. Okay. And how Hmm. So, if it's 30-ish years after he came here, does that mean that the destruction of the village didn't occur, considering Detective Man is here? So there's a lot of little excess information being given here, like the Defense Force and whatnot. I'm not against it, to be fair, but still. If we're 30 years-ish on, is there going to be any characters that we know of? Well, that are still around, are still part of it? Okay, so the toxic fume leak did happen. He's just not part of the village and didn't get caught in it. Gotcha. Also, just completely paving over a natural area to prevent the toxic fumes. Would this work? Maybe. But also, UFOs. So the mentions of aliens before, not just talking about the parasites, but there's so much more. And they needed a lot of body bags. Was all of this, what we're being told about gas leaks and the like, inevitable? Is there a way to stop the entire village from succumbing to it? Yeah, I did think it was a slightly odd course of action to take, considering the concrete would break down after a while. Gas would just leak out anyway. Natural disaster, aliens. Can we add a few more to this list? A redacted file? Top secret number 34? I'm not sure I would like to see what's in that file. Are we going to go have a trip around the village, seeing sights of what we knew before? 34 is an important number we're seeing. Huh. So she was the catalyst for a big investigation. Maybe her notebooks were a little closer to the truth than we realized. We're actually following the... So the parasites was bacteria that it came from outer space that the aliens carried with them. Okay. Do these aliens also have a camouflage? Can take on the appearance of humans to cause these doppelgangers. Symptomatic therapy. Okay. And I guess, yeah, they didn't have the equipment or tooling to fix up the ship and leave. They had to turn back, come back to the village. No one's allowed to get out. Were they suddenly turned against? And is there something residing within that golden statue? So, was this revenge? Hang on, you never came to visit us anymore. Peace is never an option. They wanted to rule. Power corrupts so easily, but when you've got extraterrestrial bodies and they're like pushing you from behind. Huh. Sometimes reality is worse than those terrible B-grade movies. Hmm. Was there... She's not the only one to foresee the future, what might happen. So we are following this one timeline. So all of what we saw there carries on to this years beyond. Now I'm thinking, do all of the ones that we've seen before also do that as well? So we carry on, life continues, the future continues. Our characters' demises are just an eventuality that happened in that situation. Or is there a reason why this one particular gets to continue? I mean, if you found something that can infect and contain such a bacterium or parasite like this, it's only a matter of time before someone tries to use that for their benefit or military application. Oh, there's less speculative story behind this? Oh, maybe not. The gas leak was just a distraction, a diversion, a cover up. Had However, as you can see, it's all in pristine condition. Someone who actually knows of the effect of chemical interactions. Hmm. There's definitely more beyond the going on beyond the scenes. I mean, it's not a good idea to just wantonly believe everything, but to ignore some red flags in there as well. Well, all you need to do now is find a copy of the report. And he's just carrying it around in his bag. No protective plastic sleeves or anything. If only he had looked into it a little closer back then. They forced it on them. I mean, as we saw with the. Hmm. Did they anger the aliens that they were forced to retaliate? Death, spontaneous and thorough. It's probably a good idea to leave it for a while and barricade the village off if you got that kind of pathogen. We are spending the entire episode just following these as they exposition their way through the village. The school. Let's hope there's not any more improvised devices hidden around. She's been waiting all her life. The fact that she went from holding this school hostage to where we are now. Is she the sole survivor of the village in this instance? I know it's just 30 years on. Rack your brains. Is there anything else that you might remember? How about the investigation? She was under a lot of pressure. Considering with the considering what happened with the ones that were blackmailing her family, the parasite beneath her skin. Oh, so it didn't just go from school incident and savior of that to gas leak. There is more that followed the same path as what it was meant to. Hmm. So in a way to try and protect her mental state, to not have any relapses, he's now undoing that work. If there's anything that free their regrets, those chains. And she's been having to live with everything that happened alone. I would agree with that one. Whereas there is a certain character who's a little more switched on than the rest of them. And why are we now at the dump? Do you think we need to come here to have a conversation? But still. Is it a marker? She's wanting to play, that's all. It's a doomed world anyway. Is this like the knife to the temple? Let's just restart. This one's no good. Find another. And there's someone here who recognizes that incredibly well. Much more wizened beyond her years of what she knew and what she talked about. Okay, so it's the same. She was cotton drifted. And despite reaching out, despite asking for some help there, couldn't be averted. Stay away from the edge. It's 30 years of wear and tear and no care on that railing. A really good question there. I mean, most of us would want to return to a time when things were slightly simpler, but as an extra reason for this. Especially when all you know was taken away from you. In such a vivid manner. What an episode to start off the season. One of tearing down what you knew before, adding in more details following it. The happy conclusion that we saw before, yeah, that was just a brief interlude to what was actually going on. There was no way that everything can be salvaged. There's no static radio cutting up this song, this ending. So we can just hopefully slightly relax once in a while if it's continuing like this. You know, as long as you ignore the lyrics. But if there's two sides to every story, there's 17 to this one. Schools. Dark Rika. Okay. It's like a Gintama reading of letters and stuff behind. Advice corner. Change your shampoo. I mean, if you want some extra frizz. If we're going back into the village, at least now I know to be prepared. And of course, knowing now that even in a successful timeline, one where things look their brightest, if it's not explicitly shown, just imagine the worst. Gas leaks or alien intervention, government cover-ups. Santa just eventually snapping and taking back all the presents over the years. Anything's possible in this world. I'm just waiting for the Pope to show up and say it was all because of the second coming of Jesus. For some reason in rural Japan. But with the potential of memories being unlocked and we're continuing on with dark thoughts and deeds from before, if there were timelines which extended beyond the events of what we saw and survivors therein, does that mean that we can pass back some other pertinent knowledge as long as they can, unlock it? And how much of the notebooks do we actually need to pay attention to? How much was just fluff, red herrings, diversions? Still, what can the so-called extraterrestrials, the Zeta aliens, if you've played Fallout, what can they help uncover with what's going on? Maybe if we dig under the concrete, break it up, and there's this big old ship down there, one that wasn't carted off by the government. It would help to cement that idea of what was happening. But while these aliens are out there pulling the strings in the background and forcing the three main families to continue to try and keep their power, then all it really means is that there's going to be at least another 4 or 5 little theories and questions that are roaming around in my mind, none of which are going to be signed off as possibly accurate or downright stupid. Because at this point, anything's possible. Who knows, this could be one big simulation. I mean, who wouldn't want to play it? Load up the game and be sacrificed. It's amazing gameplay. Graphics could do with some work, though. But also, with the Tokyo Detective coming in, does that mean that would he be present in every iteration that we've seen? It's just this is the one that we're following for some reason. Would they have had this afterthought, this reconnecting with the village years down the line after the gas leak? Just might not be Rena that they talk to. Definitely wouldn't be talking about the hostage situation, since it's only appeared in this one so far. But many a questionable occurrence that still hasn't been explained thoroughly. Why Mia was set on fire? Why the doctor took the easy way out? Why in that little bit, why Rika was outside playing in the forest and was like, I'll protect you. What was she doing just before that, prior? None of these questions are going to be answered, and I don't think they should be at the first episode of this season. And considering how many more there are after, yeah, I'm only scratching the barrel of possibilities, aren't I? This is going to be a fun one. If you've enjoyed this episode, let me know. Leave a like and a comment on the video. Consider subscribing. Join onto my Discord. If you're watching this not on YouTube, just go back, put it on, mute it, walk off, make some lunch. Just give me a little help out here. It's been a tough year. But make sure to take care of yourselves. Watch out for any aliens, gas leaks or otherwise. Don't play around any swamps. And I'll see you in the next one. Should someone in many years to come look back and see where everything went wrong, well, you may be able to point towards my channel, and, rightfully so, my patrons who have helped it grow and keep it alive. So, I do need to thank Noku, Sal, Guado, Kite, Ruben Filamawa, Raywin, Wolfie Sensei, and everyone else for keeping this grand experiment, and potential loss of human life, as safe and secure as it currently is. And if you would also like to be part of the downfall of humanity, consider joining on as well.